The Warhammer Animations trailer dropped about a month ago, so here's a breakdown in my usual timely manner. As a fan of Warhammer for more than 10 years now, I am beyond excited to see it get this kind of attention. Between these stories that I'm about to go over and the Eisenhorn TV series announcement, I really don't think there's been a better time to be a 40k fan. The only sort of official movie we had before this was the Ultramarine movie from 2010, which was, well...
For the Emperor will protect me.
Get up and kill this beast!
Well, I mean, it had great voice acting. Anyways, let's jump into it. Here we have a Blood Angel Marine and a Blood Angel Captain of one of their vessels, strike cruiser, battle barge, doesn't really matter which. I do know that Richard Boylan, the creator of the amazing Helsreach fan series, based on the book by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. After the success of Helsreach, Richard Boylan was hired by Games Workshop to make an official series about the Blood Angels, everyone's favorite angel, vampire, post-human super soldiers. Alright, I got no idea what this could be. Maybe an assassin from the Officio Assassinorum? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly as well. And this is a Blood Angel Terminator who seems to be missing an arm. Due to the genetic enhancements of Space Marines, they can lose limbs, they can lose organs. There is a story in the Webway War of a custodian, the Emperor's personal bodyguard, not the janitor, fighting after losing some of his skull. So, Space Marine Terminator, only the best of the best get Terminator armor, not unreasonable that you could keep fighting with no arm. These are Ultramarines. I know they are a tactical squad because of the markings on their pauldrons because I have too much time on my hands. Due to the animation style that we see later in the trailer, I think this will be part of Warhammer Adventures, the Warhammer series that Games Workshop is making more aimed at kids, but more on that later. We only see this for a second. It's either a ship or a space station. Doesn't really matter which. I can't see any chapter markings on it or Imperial Navy insignia, so wild speculation it's part of the Blood Angels series just because that's the only time we see naval vessels in this trailer. This looks like another clip from the Warhammer Adventures series. You can tell from the Stormcast Eternal masks in the background that it's from Age of Sigmar. It's more of the child-friendly content they're trying to make instead of grim, dark, blood and guts skulls everywhere. This guy, because I looked it up on the website, his name is Elio. He is a wizard of Gyran, the magic of life. This 1 second of Sisters of Battle footage is the most attention they've received from Games Workshop since 3rd edition, which was 12 years ago? 14 years ago? They are getting a whole new model line and codex, so maybe this will all tie in. The Sisters of Battle are the militant arm of the Ecclesiarchy, the state church of the Imperium. After a civil war in the Imperium known as the Age of Apostasy, if I pronounce that correctly, the church was forbidden from having men-at-arms, so instead they have ultra-zealous nuns with guns. Here we have a Space Marine chaplain and a gene stealer. Chaplains are the spiritual leaders of a Space Marine chapter, and gene stealers are horrifying alien monstrosities from beyond the stars. Blood Angels versus Tyrannid in general and Gene Stealers in particular is a classic matchup. The old game Space Hulk, both the board game version and the more recent video game version, have Blood Angel Terminators fighting Gene Stealers on a Space Hulk. We already saw a Blood Angel Terminator, so that could be all part of the same thing. I do think this chaplain will be from the Blood Angels, and not the legendary Black Templar chaplain Grimaldus from Richard Boylan's excellent fan video. So you can see for yourself what got Richard Boylan so beloved in the Warhammer community and the attention of Games Workshop. Here's a clip from Helsreach. Please don't copyright strike me.
I have dug my grave in this place. I will either triumph or I will die.
In blood I am born.
These are Chaos Space Marines. The coloring of their armor and the lightning moving over them makes me think that they're most likely Night Lords. After that we have an assassin. I think it's a Kalitas assassin due to the trademark giant impractical ponytail. They use a drug called polymorphine that lets them mimic any humanoid species, carry a phase sword made from Necron metal that can cut through anything, and a frankly absurd amount of poison.
In battle do I live.
Here we have another Blood Angel in Terminator armor, aka Tactical Dreadnought armor. It is the finest armor that the Imperium can produce for infantry. It is comparable to the armor of a main battle tank, and it's often not enough against Gene Stealers.
In light do I rise.
This is Captain Salkin of the Blood Angel strike cruiser Sword of Baal. Respond.
Okay, there's a few things to unpack here. As you can probably tell, Captain Sultan, here, is not a Space Marine. She is not some weird augmented post-human. Space Marines are, in theory, capped at 1,000 Marines per chapter. The ships they fly are between 1 and 4 miles long, requiring crews of tens of thousands. The ships are commanded by normal, non-Space Marine humans, and crewed by slaves or serfs depending on the chapter. The ship is called the Sword of Baal, B-A-A-L, which was the homeworld of the Primarch of the Blood Angels, Sanguinius, and remains their homeworld to this day, even after it got mostly eaten by Tyranid. There's also a quick scene of some drop pods launching. Drop pods are launched from spaceships in orbit, full of Space Marines, moving so quickly that enemy anti-aircraft guns have a hard time tracking them. They land at speeds that would liquefy a normal human, but not these super special Space Marines. This is some more Warhammer Adventure clips. I believe this is Alish, a tech-savvy girl who lives in Haish, the realm created from light magic. I'm guessing what she's on right now is one of the dwarven airships new to Age of Sigmar, and I hope so because it sounds really cool.
Did not know I would ever feel a chill on my skin again.
I believe this is more from the Blood Angels show. I know nothing about what's going on, some people standing around looking dramatic, but I mean, come on, that voice acting and that writing, it sounds so cool. This is Zelia from the Warhammer 40k Adventure series. Zelia is the daughter of a rogue trader, and rogue traders are people who can explore beyond the borders of the Imperium, doing pretty much whatever they like. It looks like what Zelia did was wake up a Necron tomb world. In mainline 40k, waking up a Necron tomb world means billions of people are about to die, multiple solar systems will probably get wiped out, and who knows, the Imperium itself could fall. But this is Warhammer Adventures, so hopefully it all works out. I think Captain Sultan just heard me try to pronounce her name, and now she's more like Captain Sulking. Please subscribe. This looks like the Kalidas Assassin versus the Night Lords again from earlier, but in a very different animation style. It doesn't look that dissimilar from early Helsreach videos by Richard Boylan, so maybe he's involved with this as well. I don't really have a lot to go on from this, but Alicia is looking at something dramatically, so adventure ahoy. Here we have ships in orbit docked together. This is just wild speculation, but I'm guessing the station they are docking to is possibly a Space Hulk or some sort of station infested by Gene Stealers. I think this is part of the Blood Angels series. This is Meki from the Warhammer 40k Adventure series. He is a tech adept of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and from his biography on the Warhammer Adventure website, he is described as being cold and distant. That's not too bad considering many members of the Adeptus Mechanicus lobotomize themselves so they can be more logical and machine-like. This is Zelia, looking at something very dramatically. Maybe she's looking at all of the worlds that she just doomed because she woke up the Necrons. I can't be sure, but due to the helmet pattern, I believe this is a Grey Knight, the demon hunters of the Inquisition and the very last line of defense the Imperium has against the Warp. The animation style looks the same as the Blood Angel scenes. So, two options. One, maybe the Blood Angels are teamed up working with the Grey Knights against not just the Gene Stealers, but an even worse infestation. Or two, the secret of the Blood Angels got out that they're all a little bit vampiric, and this Grey Knight is hunting them. Either way, it's going to be cool. Okay, I mean, I have no idea what that is, but you probably shouldn't touch it. I don't know who these Gene Stealers, or maybe also Chaos, considering the Grey Knights will probably be in this show, think they're dealing with, but if you want to stop a Blood Angels Terminator, you're going to have to do a lot more than cut off one of their arms. I mean, the Emperor gave them two for a reason. So that's everything that's in the trailer. When these shows start coming out, I'll find whatever I need to do to watch them and do more reviews like this. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I had fun making it, and I'll keep doing them regardless, but it's even better if someone likes watching it. So please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.